I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's the author of the book Lights Action You, no other than Mr. Robert A. Lane.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest on the show. I really appreciate being here.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Robert, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Sure. I am an audiobook coach and producer, as well as a career and life coach. I have a business which is simply called Robert Lane Coaching, which is pretty
Mm,
easy to find. So, what I do as a career and life coach, actually, I do spend more time doing speaking engagements to talk about that aspect of the business. And when it comes to one on one coaching, that's where I specialize in helping nonfiction authors turn their book into an audiobook that they narrate. And I take them through the entire process of what it takes to create an audiobook. And that's what I do for one on one coaching. That's pretty much what Robert Lane Coaching is all about.
Mr. Robert L. Lane, thank you so much for sharing your talents to the world. And what is the central theme of Lights Action You?
Lights Action You is a book that I wrote when I started doing my career coaching and life coaching. After working about 30 plus years in the entertainment industry, the first thing is that people would say, "Oh, you must have a ton of great stories. I mean, you worked in entertainment." And I'm like, well, I guess I do have some stories that I can share. But since I wrote the book after I started doing my coaching business, I wanted to make the book more than just a memoir of talking about, you know, behind the scenes of what it takes to work in the entertainment industry. But with each story that I tell, there is a lesson, there is a tool or technique from the career and life coaching standpoint that people can benefit from. So they'll get stories with the entertainment business and be very entertained, but at least with each story there'll be something that they can take from it that they can apply to their own lives.
So, what does the title suggest about the connection between mindset and action?
So of course we know all the phrase, lights, camera, action.
Yes.
So lights, action, you is like lights, you are a light. Action, you need to take action, and it's all about you. It's doing what you can to better yourself through any type of work situation and work environment. So the book, I'll share a story about time management, for example, and then after I will give some tools and techniques that can help people do time management, that can help them be more efficient in what they do with time. Or maybe there are fears that you have and ways to deal with fear. I have a chapter in there that talks about being under a lot of pressure and how to deal with it and how not to freeze or quit, and how to work through these things that sometimes can be very difficult. So there's topics like that, because again, it's all about taking what you do, whether it's in your career or even just in your personal life, and being able to live a better, healthier life.
Healthier life, people. So, how does the book define personal freedom?
How does the book, I'm sorry, what was the question?
How does the book define personal freedom?
Personal freedom. That's a good question there, Daniel. Personal freedom, it's obviously that's something that's very subjective for each person, but really personal freedom is something, and again, if you utilize the tools and techniques in the book, it allows you to live just a healthier life, both not only physically but mentally. And that's a key aspect of what I wrote about in the book, is that how you think about things and how you approach things, your mindset. If you're coming from uh, a very negative space, then that's going to make life a lot difficult for you. And that's where you are removing a lot of your personal freedom. If you are positive and you approach life in a way that enhances your life in a more positive aspect, you do gain more personal freedom because you have better control over your life and you're living, with gratitude and you're being thankful for what you have. And that's really important. So mindset is definitely a key factor to personal freedom.
Very well said, Mr. Robert. Very well said. And what strategies does the book offer for mastering your mindset?
So there are a variety of strategies that are throughout the book. I'll just go over a few things as I look at the the chapters here in the book. One of the first things, like I mentioned about being grateful, that is a very important mindset to have. So, something that I talk about in the book, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is that you should think of three things that you're grateful for right when you wake up in the morning. And it doesn't matter how big or small these things are, but starting your day with gratitude puts you in the right mental frame of mind in a positive way. So even if it's something as simple as, I'm so happy and grateful that the sun is out today. I am happy and grateful for my kids. I am happy and grateful that there's food in the refrigerator. I am happy and grateful that there's gas in my car. I'm happy and grateful that my car works. I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't matter how big or small, and maybe it is big. I'm happy that I was able to get that raise at my job. And that's a huge thing. And it's a great thing to be, happy and grateful for. So starting the day with gratitude is a really good thing because that sets up your day in a positive way. And then at the end of the day, what you should do is just think about what you've done for that day. And again, write out three things that you're proud of, no matter how big or small. So it can be something like, I'm proud of the fact that I finished a big project at my job, or I'm proud of the fact that I actually made time to play with my kids, or I'm really happy and proud that I didn't allow my coworker to push my buttons and make me upset. It could be a variety of things, but again, no matter how big or small, because you end your day, again, you start your day with gratitude and you're ending your day with gratitude. So that's bookending your day with positivity. And that is a really important mindset to have.
Definitely. Be grateful in everything, people. Stop complaining and count your blessing. So
Count your
how
blessings. Yes.
yes, how do you explain the role of self-awareness and changing your mindset in the book?
Um, what self-awareness also falls in line with, there's a chapter in my book about missed opportunities, and being aware is a key factor. I shared a story in the book where, again, when I was working at Fox Studios in Los Angeles, Fox was the movie company that produced Bohemian Rhapsody, with the Queen movie about Freddie Mercury. And one day, this was before the movie was released, they had a private screening, and I was so uh, just ingrained in my job that in what I call work blinders, right? You have these blinders on and you're not aware of what's going on around you. And I walk out my building. This gentleman walks right by me. I looked at him. And again, I was so focused on worrying about my job and worrying about this and worrying about, the big project that had to be done, that I didn't even think that I just walked right by Brian May, the guitarist from Queen. And I missed this opportunity to actually meet one of my guitar heroes. It was right there,
Yes.
so and then later on, they had a party that was held outside. Brian May was there. Roger Taylor, the drummer, was there. All the actors who starred in the movie were all there, and I walked right through it and just didn't even realize what was going on because I was so not focused on what was around me, being aware. I was just so focused on, oh, my job, this and worrying that and all that, that it was a distraction from allowing me to not take advantage of a great opportunity. And so really the lesson is don't keep those work blinders on all the time. I mean, or just even in life in general, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of things that are happening around you, because that will open up opportunity. And you may see something. And again, don't be afraid to go for it. Go for that opportunity. Uh, it's there for you. So be open to it, and don't be so focused on worry and anything else if it causes you to not see and be aware of other opportunities.
Definitely. And does lights action you provide exercises or practices to help reframe
Um,
negative thoughts?
yeah, actually, there are some supplemental uh, PDF downloads that you can get with the book. Some talk about things that you can do to deal with fear, things that you can do to relieve stress. But those techniques are also in the book. So you can learn about, again, talking about time management, things that you can do to manage your time better. There are things that you can do to uh, eliminate or at least be able to handle fear. So, or another thing is confidence. I know a lot of people, and we all do, we all have confidence issues, or we think we're not good enough. So there's a catchphrase that I talk about in my book. I share this story um, about confidence, and there's something that I would say if I was not feeling confident, and that is, I am who I am, I do what I do, and I am not ashamed of it. And that's all I need to say. And the other thing about that is you just tell yourself, I don't care what other people think, but you're not saying it in a mean or vindictive way, or you're just stating a fact. I don't care what other people think because I am who I am, I do what I do, and I'm not ashamed of it. Because you need to be confident about who you are and embrace who you are. So that's something that I talk about in the book. Another thing in regards to fear, and this not only applies to maybe a work situation, but it also applies to life in general because we all have fears. We all have hesitations about doing certain things. And that may cause us to put up a barrier that is stopping us from moving forward to doing something that could be really beneficial for us. So for example, since, as an audiobook coach and producer, I have a audiobook coaching program called Your Book, Your Voice, and I take the authors through the process. Well, the number one thing that I hear with most of the authors that I work with is, oh, I don't have a good voice. I hate my voice. I don't like how I sound. I don't think I have what it takes. So there's a lot of I can't this and I don't like that. And again, you're coming from a negative standpoint. But the truth is, you do have a great voice. Love your voice, embrace your voice, because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you so unique. So I help these authors build confidence. Be focused in the present moment. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Be focused in the present moment for where you are right now. And then love your voice, because your voice is part of who you are. And that's what allows you to stand out. Now, especially for nonfiction authors, let's say there's an author who wrote a book about weight loss, and there are a lot of authors who maybe are coaches, and if they are not confident enough to do their own audiobook and sound confident about talking about their coaching program, it's not going to be very engaging and very believable for the listener. And the other thing is, if you are a nonfiction author, you really do need to narrate your own book because nobody can tell your story better than you because you lived it, you've breathed it, everything about you. Your voice is in your written word already. So when you narrate your own audiobook, you're just telling your story the way that you want it to be heard. And that is part of what makes you stand out in the crowd. Like the weight loss coach. Um, what's going to make that weight loss coach stand out in the crowd? It's because they are teaching their coaching program in their own voice. And that's really important. So again, getting back to confidence, believe in yourself, love your voice, or love really anything about you, what you are and who you are and what you do, and be confident because you do have what it takes to, conquer really any type of project that you want to accomplish, whether it's a work project or maybe something, that's personal. So believe in yourself and have confidence. And one way of doing that, Daniel, would be just write out some affirmations. Write them out. Maybe 5 or 10 affirmations. Again, for an author, it'd be, I love my voice. I have a great voice. I am a great narrator. I have a fantastic story. No one can tell the story better than I can. Just make a list and then print it out and then tape it somewhere. Put it on the refrigerator.
Mm.
Put it next to your bed. Put it on the bathroom mirror and read it. But you want to just not read it. You just want to read it until you feel it. Because once you feel it, then your subconscious is going to believe it. And when your subconscious believes it, then you're believing in yourself, and that will boost your confidence. So that's one technique that you can utilize.
Yes, people love yourself and don't care what people say about you.
That's right.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
So, Mr. Robert, what will be your advice for those people out there to have a successful mindset?
Who are successful, basically,
Yes, to have a successful mindset.
to have success. Well, there is another thing that I talk about in my book is don't be afraid to ask for help. I share a story in the book where when I wrote and produced my first film, I wore as many hats that I could possibly wear. Not that that was the best thing to do, okay? Because there are other people who can do things better than I could do. That's going to make the final product better. And that's what successful people do, is that they find other people and put a great team together to be able to create something that is even better than they could have even imagined. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And another thing is, don't feel like you have to have such tight control over everything that you do. If I don't do it myself, it's not going to be done correctly. That will actually put you in a trap because there are people who can do things better than you, that are willing and that want to help you with whatever you're trying to do. That's what successful people do. They surround themselves and put a great team together of others who can do things better than they can. So like, for example, when I wrote Lights Action You, I worked with a book coach because I knew that a book coach would teach me things to be able to write a better book because they know how to do it and they can teach me some skills that I can utilize to write the book. And then I hired a book editor and a book formatter and a cover designer, the people who can do things better than I can, because I know that the end product will only be so much better. That's how you really build on your success. And that's, again, ask for help. Put a good team of people together. That will get you success.
Ask for help, people. If you need help, that's
Yes.
the number one key. And congratulations, Mr. Robert, for being a best-selling author.
Thank you.
And we are looking forward for more empowering books like this. So, what are your short-term and long-term goals in writing?
Um, well, I've I've been a musician for many years. I was thinking maybe I might write some stories about the music business. Or I would also maybe consider writing a book about how to create an audiobook and what the whole process is to do that, taking what I teach and putting it in book form. Um, but for now, I've really been focusing on, as I mentioned earlier, about doing speaking engagements to talk to people about, career coaching and life coaching. And I like doing that because I feel that I can reach more people than just doing, a coaching program. If I can go out and I can speak to, a few hundred people at a time, that maybe somebody, maybe a handful of people will feel inspired, or maybe something that I say will transform somebody's life. That's a great thing. And to be able to reach, more people in one setting doing speaking is a really good thing that I think that I am able to do, utilizing the tools and techniques that I teach in the book, in Lights Action You. And of course, in regards to the coaching business, I still coach authors to create their audiobooks, and I love doing that as well, because it's really rewarding to help an author go through the process, and then to hear them when they're narrating their audiobook. It sounds so good, and it's so rewarding to see how happy they are and how surprised that they are. They're like, "Wow, I never thought I could do that. I never thought that I can complete narrating my own audiobook." And it's just a wonderful thing to see authors reach that goal. Very satisfying, as a coach, to see that.
Yes, definitely. So, how can the readers apply Light's action principles to their everyday lives?
Probably the easiest way to pick up the book, you can go to Amazon. You can go to my website at robertlanecoaching.com, and there is a button that you can click that says Lights Action You. Tells you more details about the book, and then you can click on the link that'll take you to the site on Amazon, where you can buy the ebook or the paperback, or you can also get the audiobook version of the book. So yeah, I would say just go to the website at robertlanecoaching.com. It's super easy.
Yes, to sum up our episode, Mr. Robert, what is the ultimate takeaway or message Light's action you wants readers to embrace?
I think the message is, well, there's a couple. One of them is, be your authentic self. Be who you are. Love the person that you are, because again, that's what makes you so unique. So love who you are, love what you're about, embrace the person that you are. Always be positive. That's number one. The second thing is, and this is a catchphrase that I say all the time, and that is, you are the CEO of you. You are the boss of you. So all the decisions that you make, even, if you are an entrepreneur, of course, you are the boss. But you can still apply the same concept, whether you work for somebody else, or you're just even applying it to your personal life. You are the CEO of you. So be aware of that. Be aware that the decisions that you make in your life should be positive decisions that move, whether it's your business forward or your personal life, into a better place. I think those are really the two lessons. Be your authentic self. You are your own boss. So make decisions that are really great to move your life forward in a positive way.
Yes, to have a successful mindset. Mr. Robert L. Lane, again, thank you so much for sharing your empowering memoir to the world. And can you please invite our listeners to support Lights Action You?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, can you please invite where they gonna buy your book?
Yeah, again, you can pick up the book on Amazon. You can get the ebook, the paperback, or the uh, audiobook, of course. And you can also go to robertlanecoaching.com. There is a link that you can click to, will tell you more about the book, and will, of course, take you to where you can purchase it as well.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Robert L. Lane, best-selling author, so that more best-selling memoir, novels, or whatever Mr. Robert will do, and of course, the coaching itself. So, Mr. Robert, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon. You are most welcome, Mr. Robert. This podcast is created for you. If you have more